Leatherwood Mountain Resort, located in Ferguson, North Carolina, is a haven for horses and their human friends. But there's also a lot of love for mules and donkeys, and this appreciation is celebrated during their annual Mule Days. Now tell me about your event. What's this all about?
Well, this is a family-oriented celebration of mules and donkeys.
Wow.
And it's bringing together people who love mules and donkeys, and then we have different activities like trail riding and shows and obstacle courses, and we're going to have a big dinner.
You're part of a large association?
Yes, we're part of the Carolina Mule Association, which is based in North Carolina, but we do stuff in Tennessee, Southern Virginia, and South Carolina.
Now that's a large mule. Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing just fine.
Great. It's an amazing and impressive animal. So have you and he become friends yet?
Me and him has been great friends. I've made him a saddle mule to where I could be closer to him, because I never thought I'd own a mule, and he's just been absolutely terrific.
Now, a lot of people are confused, but what makes a horse and a mule different? Well, one of the things that's obvious are the ears. And as you can see, he's got large ears and a friendly disposition. When you see big ears, that's likely a mule or a donkey.
And you'll notice we left the hair in a poof at the top,
Right.
Because we like long ears.
All right, so that
The
just
longer the
that's
better.
like the crown at the top,
Yes,
saying,
the
"Hey, look
longer
at
the
my
better."
ears." All right, so now if I understand correctly, a mule is a combination of a donkey and a horse. So a male donkey, which is called
A jack.
mates with a female horse, and then we get a mule.
So the donkeys are Jack and Jenny.
Jack and Jenny's.
And then the male mules are Johns and the females are Molly's.
Okay.
They can get the colors from either
Either
the
side?
jack or the mare. So this little mule has kind of a spotted painted coat.
I had friends that had mules, and they kept professing their safety. And so I did try them and had a mule ever since.
Yeah. How did you find a horse and a mule different?
A mule seems to take care of himself on the trail better and is more sure-footed. And taking care of him, he takes care of me.
How long have you been a mule man?
I was riding mules back in 1978, and it wasn't cool back in 1978 to ride a mule. They would laugh you off the trail back then. But now, if you ride a mule, you're the cream of the crop. They look at you and say, "Hey, this guy takes his trail riding seriously."
What's better about a mule?
A lot of things. The mule is more sure-footed, and the reason is that their eyesight in a mule is a little different than it is in a horse. It goes back to the donkey. He's got more of a peripheral vision, and he can see where that back foot is stepping.
We've always been riding horses. The draft animals that we were using, it was just the heat and humidity was hard on them. So we decided to start raising mules.
So how do you find a mule compared to a horse as far as intellect and just their workability?
The mule is much smarter
Than a horse?
than a horse, and some people. And so that's why they're saying that they're stubborn, is because you've got to kind of outthink them, because they're smart. And I get that from the donkey side.
This donkey is smarter than him. He said so. So, right? Would you agree?
I definitely agree.
She definitely agrees.
They're very friendly and they really like to have a trust relationship with their owners. And the reason why a lot of them are considered stubborn is because they have a self-preservation about them that other horses do not. And so if they feel like you're asking them to do something that they could get hurt, then they're not going to do it. Something we do in the mule world called coon jumping.
Wow.
So we'll have a jump and we'll start at a certain height and we'll go up as we go. And whoever jumps the highest in the shortest amount of time wins.
So the question is, who can jump the highest? Stop in the box, Calvin does it.
This is when it starts getting serious.
Let's give a big hand to Tarzan, first place and a $100 meal.
How long do you work with him to get him to that point?
I ain't even worked with him.
Yeah, he just jumps like that all the time?
Get him out of pasture.
Well, he's quite the jumper. Tarzan, good job, buddy. You don't know anything about mules, do you?
Not a thing.
Not a thing. You know anything about horses?
Yes, I know a little bit about horses.
Well, mules are just different.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Mule Days wouldn't be Mule Days without a parade, and here it comes. Pretty wild.
There you go.
Pretty darn impressive. Oh, that's a good looking one. Look at that. Yay!
After 20-something years of marriage, I said to my husband, I said, okay, it's time we get a horse. And my husband's quite the prankster, smart aleck.
Yeah?
And he said, well, if you want a horse, he said, you go over there and ask the neighbor if you can ride his old mule. So out the door I went banged on that old man's door, and I said, can I ride your mule? He said, you do whatever you want with that mule. And so that's how I got into mules.
Is that right?
It changed our lives forever.
It usually takes about a year to bond with them, but after they bond with you, they get to be your friend, kind of like a dog. Not entirely like a dog, but
They have a temperament like a dog. They just love to be around people and to be worked with.
I tell people, I said, if you don't fall in love with the mules, you'll fall in love with the mule people, because they're some of the best people you'll ever meet.
Quite honestly, I didn't know what to expect. And you know what? I'm telling you the truth. I'm walking away from here today saying I've got a great appreciation for mules and donkeys, and I'm just truly impressed. And if you've never spent time getting to know a mule or a donkey, go check them out, because hey, it was a lot of fun.